Hey guys, how are you doing? It's 6 o'clock. It's time. We've got a short little thought I want to share with you. Try and say hi to everybody as you jump on. I've got a question that I'd like to ask you later on, and I'd love to have some interaction, some conversations going in the comments down below. But the thought that I have for you, it comes from a passage today in 1 Samuel chapter 30. A lot of us, if you have spent any amount of time at all reading the Bible, even if we haven't spent a lot of time reading the Bible, we are familiar with certain special people from the Bible. One of those people that is pretty commonly known as David. King David, however you want to call him. This is actually before he's the king. 1 Samuel chapter 30. They were experiencing, him and his people were experiencing a difficult time. They had gone out to war, and while they were gone, their home had been raided, and their families had been taken from them, and their livestock, you name it, everything was stolen from them. And he gets in with his men, and they look at a whole lot of nothing. They took everything they had, then they burned their city to the ground. And he gets back with these men that wanted to go fight, weren't allowed to fight, and now their families, their wives, their kids are taken from them. And like I said, 1 Samuel 30, we see verse 6, it says, David was now in serious trouble because his men were very bitter about losing their wives and children, and they began to talk of stoning him. This is the part of the verse that I want to key in on. It says, directly following that, it says, but David found strength in the Lord his God. Other translations, I'm reading the New Living Translation, NLT. Other translations, I believe it's the King James, says, and David encouraged himself in the Lord. Obviously the story ends well. It's got a good ending. David and his men, he's able to rally the troops. They go and they pursue the people that stole their families, and they get their families back. Every one of them. Everybody was returned safely. But my question for you today, sorry, Veronica's over there making cookies with timers and stuff going off, so you already know what I'm going to be doing later today. I'm going to be chowing down on some cookies. But my question for you today, and what I'd love to get some interaction, like I said earlier, I'd love to get some interaction down in the comments is, what are you doing to encourage yourself in the Lord? All of the crazy stuff going on, and everybody's kind of dealing with it, feeling it in different ways. But my question for each one of you, each one of us today, myself included, what are you doing to personally encourage yourself in the Lord? Obviously, we're happy to jump on here, Facebook Live, every weeknight at 6 o'clock and bring a little thought to you. But we've got to take some personal responsibility as well. That's part of being an adult. That's part of, you don't need me to talk about that. You understand that completely. So my question for you is, what are you doing to personally encourage yourself in the Lord? I'd love for you, if you're open to that, I'd love for you to post your what you're doing personally in the comments. Like I said, I'd love to get some conversation going, stir up some ideas. Maybe somebody's doing something that you hadn't thought of before. We've got plenty of time on our hands. We've got plenty of time to dive into our Bibles. We got plenty of time to get stuff done around the house. So we talk all the time about what we would do if time was not an issue. For some of us right now, time's not an issue. So what are you doing to encourage yourself in the Lord? That's it. We'll see you tomorrow night, 6 o'clock. Make sure you respond down below. Respond, let us know. I see the likes. Good job. I see them coming in. What are you doing to encourage yourself in the Lord? Let's get some conversation going. Let's have some fun. You guys have a good night.